Request you all to please be seated. I know it's a huge crowd today, but please find yourself some seats so that, all right. A very good morning, my esteemed audience. A very warm welcome to the Uttarakhand Global Investors Summit's Mumbai Roadshow. I am more than honored to be in your august presence in this city of dreams that boasts as the nation's phenomenon. Famous for large markets, mesmerizing beaches, towering buildings, exquisite five-star hotels, and a city that never sleeps. I am Shweta Shekhar, your host and moderator for Uttarakhand Global Investor Summit's Mumbai Roadshow today. We are thrilled to have you here today as we unveil the illustrious presentation discussions. Firstly, it is my honor and privilege to welcome the Honorable Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Shri Pushkar Singh Dhami ji, along with senior officials from the government of Uttarakhand. I would also like to warmly welcome the profound key industry leaders present here today, along with the press and media. I now request Dr. Parveez Sinha to honor the Honorable Chief Minister with a bouquet. Can we have Dr. Parveez Sinha here, please? Sir, on stage. Sir, on stage, please. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Devbhoomi Uttarakhand, the land of gods, the state's snow-covered Himalayan peaks, peaceful landscape and rich cultural traditions make this a preferred destination for tourists from all over the world. Government of Uttarakhand is working towards the Global Investors Summit that is to be organized on the 8th and 9th December 2023. Uttarakhand is one of the fastest growing states in India with an advantageous location and proximity to the New Delhi and NCR region. The state has abundant natural resources and a skilled workforce. We are a young state and we have been able to house several leading brands like Mahindra, Ashok Leyland, Hindustani Unilever, Parle, Nestle, Tata, Patanjali, and so on. Not many of you know that we are the leading manufacturing hub in India and hold great potential across sectors like pharmaceuticals, auto component manufacturing, health and wellness, education, real estate, and more. Over the next few hours, we will be exploring the endless opportunities that Devbhoomi Uttarakhand has to offer. Today, we have assembled here to make lasting connections and celebrate this wonderful gathering of esteemed dignitaries as we embark on the mission to become an ideal destination for investors and investments. We thus pleasantly and humbly invite all the potential investors to initiate meaningful partnerships in achieving mutual growth targets. May I now please invite Dr. Parveez Sinha, Chairman CII Western Region and CEO and MD, Tata Power Company Limited, to give us the welcome address. Let's welcome him with a big round of applause, people.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chief Minister of Government of Uttarakhand, Shri Pushkar Singh Dhami ji, Dr. Sandhu, Chief Secretary, Government of Uttarakhand, Mr. Rohit Meena, Director General and Commissioner Industries, Government of Uttarakhand, Dr. Meenakshi Sundaram, Secretary to Honorable Chief Minister, Government of Uttarakhand, Ms. Sonia Garg, past Chairperson, CII Uttarakhand and CEO of Foras Specialty, Ms. Ranju Alex, Area Vice President, South Asia, Marriott International, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. A very good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, on my personal behalf and on behalf of CII, I would like to welcome you to the roadshow of the Global Investors Summit this morning in India's financial capital. Mumbai. CII is honored to be the national industry partner for the Uttarakhand Global Investors Summit, which will happen on 8th and 9th December in Dehradun. And we thank government for giving us the opportunity to organize same. Uttarakhand as a state is the third highest in hydropower generation and is already having a capacity of nearly 3,400 megawatt with the potential to reach 18,000 megawatt. And that's a unique opportunity not only in hydropower, but also in very many other sectors such as tourism, manufacturing, wellness, healthcare, infrastructure, pharma, agriculture, food processing. I can give you a long list of things that you can do in Uttarakhand and the possibility of doing so many things. The purpose of organizing the Global Investors Meet, which Honorable Chief Minister himself has been leading not only in India but globally also in many cities, is to showcase the strength of the state and the vast investment potential. In fact, there are a number of important and positive factors which help the industrial climate in Uttarakhand. But the most important is that this is a government which walks the talk. Ease of access, ease of doing business is something which is very much ingrained. And we have today two speakers over here who would share their experience that how their investment that they have done has done so good for them, their employees, as well as for the community over there. This clearly indicates the sharp focus of the state in terms of furthering economic development in the state. And I'm certain that this will go a long way to make this summit successful and for the state's economic progression. I'm certain we have large number of industry members from Maharashtra who are present over here, and they are interested in setting up their ventures and collaborate in Uttarakhand in various sectors, as I mentioned to you. And right across the state, there are a whole lot of opportunities, whether it is in tourism, manufacturing. I have myself been to a number of plants in Uttarakhand. In fact, I come from Tata Power, and all our turbines and all our plants are operated from machines which has come from BHEL Haridwar. So thank you for Uttarakhand for being a part of our growth initiatives. And many areas where huge amount of support is being provided in Uttarakhand, and I think that apart from the natural beauty, it also provides opportunities in natural products that can be made. And one of the big areas that we see that is happening, especially in terms of Ayurveda treatment, which is again a great opportunity for people who are going for natural medicine. The state also provides huge amount of initiatives and support in carrying out number of manufacturing activities, including contract manufacturing and research for various drugs and vaccines. And I think the pharma industry has done exceedingly well, but this is just tip of the iceberg, and the potential that is there is phenomenal. I strongly believe that all our industry members who are present over here from Maharashtra can collaborate with Uttarakhand in various areas, but some of the areas that which are little new is financial investment, IT industry. Again, great opportunity. It is very close to Delhi, NCR area, and the IT industry can come in a big way, especially considering the local talent which is available in Uttarakhand. Renewable power generation, again, the state has come with a unique policy, solar policy, which will support the renewable power generation, apart from, of course, the many pumped hydro and the run-of-the-river hydro projects. And also sourcing of number of agri and horticulture products, including food processing. I would like to once again welcome the Uttarakhand government delegation and Honorable Chief Minister leading it, so that the interactions over here becomes much more fruitful, and many of them can be precursor to the investment that will happen during the investor meet on 8th and 9th December. CII would like to assure the Honorable Chief Minister and the government delegation and to all our members that we are heavily engaged in this investment conclave, and I am certain that the desired goals under the Chief Minister's visionary leadership, dynamism and guidance will help and support the industrialization and the investment that can happen in Uttarakhand. I once again welcome you to the Uttarakhand Global Investors Summit on 8th and 9th, and I do look forward for a very engaging conversation today afternoon and also subsequently till the investor meet happens on 8th and 9th. I wish all the delegates a wonderful afternoon and look forward for the networking opportunity that will be there. Thank you once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your warm message of welcome, and we are now ready to start the day with a bang. First, we have a keynote presentation, and I would now like to invite Dr. Meenakshi Sundaram, Secretary to the Honorable Chief Minister, Government of Uttarakhand. Can we have a big round of applause for him, please?
Honorable Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Shri Pushkar Singh Dhami ji, respected Chief Secretary Sir, my colleague officers from Government of Uttarakhand, and respected participants from the industry. We are very happy to be here on this Mumbai roadshow of the Uttarakhand Global Investor Summit. The participation and presence has been highly encouraging. The state had decided to conduct an investor summit on the 8th and 9th of December. And before the state decided to go ahead with the investor summit, under the direction of our Honorable Chief Minister, the state government went ahead and revised all its policies. And while doing the revision, it was decided to go through all the policies existing in different states and then find out the best features and incorporate them. So I request the audience to kindly go through our policies. They are all available in our website, and you will find that the Uttarakhand package is on par or above compared to what the rest of the country is offering. As part of this Global Investor Summit, we have been doing a number of domestic and international roadshows. In fact, this is the final roadshow before we prepare ourselves for the final event. In all the roadshows, almost all, except one, our Honorable Chief Minister has been personally present, and his personal presence has been very motivating for the entire team, and there has been a desire in every member of the team to do what best can be done for the state. While coming to the policies, if you look at some of our policies like tourism policy, for example, we have been offering 25% to 50% capital subsidy with no upper cap, and this is not available in any other state. Similarly, we do have a pump storage plant policy, so I wish the chairman of Tata Power also to take note of that. It has been based on the guidelines issued by the Ministry of Power and Ministry of Renewable Energy, whereby we have waived off important charges like water charges and all. And also, if there is a self-identified project, then the project can be given without going through a bidding process. Similarly, we have very attractive policies for solar energy, for logistics, and startup policy and mega industrial policy. There is a detailed film which highlights the salient features of these policies. I request all of you to go through that, and then for further information you can always go through the website and find out. The state has also come out with a service sector policy, probably one of the very few states which has come out with a service sector policy. We have been focusing on our strengths while coming out with all these policies, and service sector has always been one of our strengths. There also we are giving a lot of incentives, and hopefully these things will provide us the much needed investment into the state. Not only that, the state has got a very conducive environment for setting up industries. The state has got an industrial climate which started way back in 2004-05, and a lot of units are there functional already. And if you look at the tagline for the Investor Summit, we have given peace to prosperity. So we also say that it is not just ease of doing business that we focus, we also focus on peace of doing business. Uttarakhand is one of the few states with least industry labor disputes. We are one of the few states with the least number of man days affected by industrial strike and all. We do have a very good law and order situation. The state has got very high quality infrastructure. The state is very well connected with the national capital region. In fact, an expressway is coming up connecting Dehradun with Delhi, which will convert the total travel time to just 2.5 hours. It's currently 4 hours. And it is well connected by air and rail also. Not only Dehradun, the other region of the state, the Kumaon region, is also very well connected. When it comes to power, the scenario is, we are having one of the lowest power tariffs in the entire country. Industrial power availability as well as power tariff, both are something the state reviews time and again, and then comes out ensuring that the needs of the industry are fulfilled at any cost. So I assure you from the state government that if you have an investment interest, then we have a set of people to follow up on your investment interest, and also handhold you to get through with all the processes associated with various departments, so that your investment is facilitated in the smoothest way possible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your insights today. We truly appreciate your dedication to addressing this wonderful audience today. Today, we also have a special screening of the state film that highlights every enthralling aspect of the state. Requesting the console to please present it for us.
Incredible India, a land of diverse cultures and breathtaking beauty, where traditions meet modernity. Within the mosaic of the nation lies Devbhoomi, Uttarakhand, the picturesque Himalayan state of India, with the tranquil temples, the mighty Ganga, and exhilarating adventures beckon you to explore its wonders. Uttarakhand has embraced its uniqueness as well as emerged as an economic powerhouse in the country. With proximity to Delhi NCR, Uttarakhand's well-connected road, rail and air infrastructure positions it as a strategic gem in the heart of India. The state embodies the essence of peace to prosperity. The peace of doing business is exemplified by a state-of-the-art single-window portal offering more than 200 services, attracting investments across various sectors like tourism, Ayush and wellness. Uttarakhand is home to top tourism destinations like the yoga capital Rishikesh, hill stations Mussoorie and Nainital, winter destinations like Oli, and top spiritual locations Char Dham and Haridwar. Together, they attract nearly 55 million annual tourists and offer abundant business opportunities in the areas of tourism, Ayush and wellness. This has also helped the state become an appealing destination for hotels and tourism-related projects. Pharma. Uttarakhand boasts of over 300 pharmaceutical units, catering to 22% of India's generic drugs manufacturing. Health. Top healthcare facilities like Max Hospitals and AIIMS have a presence in Uttarakhand. Because of its pleasant weather and easy connectivity, the state has abundant opportunities for medical tourists to come and recuperate in the fresh air and pristine climate of Uttarakhand. Education. Apart from playing host to renowned elite K-12 residential schools like Doon School, Wellams, Sherwood, Woodstock, the state also has more than 21 private and 13 government universities like IIT Roorkee and GD Pant University. Food processing. Home to 4 agroclimatic zones, Uttarakhand's rich bounty of crops, vegetables and fruits have helped create a mammoth of around rupees 14,000 crore food processing industry in the state. Automobile. Uttarakhand has the biggest automobile industrial city in North India, Pantnagar, with major OEMs like Hero Motors, Tata Motors, Bajaj Auto, Ashok Leyland and Mahindra. Uttarakhand contributes to more than 10% of auto components manufacturing in India. Electronics. Helped by the immense presence of BHEL and defense electronics, the state has a highly evolved ecosystem for the electronics, EMS and OEM industry. Some of the major players are Voltas, Panasonic, Dixon. With a highly developed ecosystem for focused sectors, the state has given further impetus on the ease of doing business by reforming more than 2,000 business compliances. It has also developed world-class industrial infrastructure by hosting more than 10% of top industrial parks of the country. Currently, there are more than 30 investor-friendly tailor-made policies like tourism policy. Under the tourism policy, businesses are allowed up to 50% capex subsidy without a cap for hospitality projects and up to 100% capex subsidy without a cap for tourism products. MSME policy. Businesses qualifying as MSMEs get a capex subsidy of up to rupees 4 crore. Mega policy. For projects where investment is between rupees 75 crore to rupees 200 crore, get a power assistance up to rupees 1.5 crore per year for 5 years. Logistics policy. Businesses are subsidized 20% of the project cost up to rupees 32 crore. Service sector policy. To boost service-related businesses in the state, companies are allowed allotment of government land or capex subsidy. With 200 plus investable projects and more than 6,000 acres of government land bank, Uttarakhand is poised to take giant leaps in the golden growth story of the country.
21वीं शताब्दी का ये तीसरा दशक ये उत्तराखंड का दशक है.
This is the destination where businesses thrive in peace to prosperity. The world is coming here. Come to Uttarakhand. Let's build together.
I have personally watched this screening so many times and I never get bored because it's so beautiful. Don't you all agree? You just feel like you're already there in Uttarakhand in that cold, in the Thandai. It's so beautiful. And next, moving on from that, I would now like to invite Mr. Rohit Meena, Director General and Commissioner Industries, Uttarakhand, to speak about these investment opportunities in Uttarakhand. Can we give him a big round of applause?
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm sure with the presentation, with the screening of the film as well as from the keynote address, now you all would be having the question that why we should not consider Uttarakhand. Now, when we are talking about Uttarakhand, we are saying that Uttarakhand is future ready and we are looking for investment in sustainable areas. So here, when we are saying that we are future ready, obviously we have revolutionized our more than 27 policies by now. With that kind of the policies, we have also identified and curated the right kind of investable projects for you. We have identified more than 6,000 plus acres of land which is ready for the investment, and I would be now just giving a bit of the brief about the investable projects which we have prepared by now. So obviously when we talk about Uttarakhand, one of the picture which comes into mind of everyone, that is snow-clad Himalayas. So obviously that is the major strength of Uttarakhand, Himalayas as well as the Ganges. So when we talk about Uttarakhand, we usually call it as a Switzerland of India. Like obviously when we are comparing, we have identified 3 such locations. One is Munshari, Pithoragarh, then other one is Oli Chamoli, and third one is the Dayara Bugyal in Uttarkashi. All these 3 locations, we have decent land of parcel in tune of 15 acre to 30 acres. These are the places where you would be able to get the snow-clad Himalayas for more than 6 months, and at the same time you would be having the gentle slopes. So these places are fit for ski resorts and the ski infrastructure. When I am talking about ski resorts, it's not only about some resort, we are also talking about the sports, adventures, infrastructure. So that kind of investment we are looking forward for. Next one is about hospitality projects. So as my predecessor told that we already have come out with a tourism policy where we have more than 50% of capital subsidy for tourism accommodation projects and 100% is capex subsidy for tourism products without a cap. That kind of policy would not be there anywhere in the whole country itself. And we are very proud for that one. So obviously when we are talking about these projects, we have also identified locations which are in tune of around 80 to 100 acres where we can come out with a full-fledged hospitality city itself. And these are very good locations. Obviously 2 of the locations, one is in Patwa Dangar, that is next to Nainital, around 20 minutes away from Nainital and on the route itself. And second one is at HMT Haldwani. So that is another location which is also available. And third one is about the Tihri. Tihri, when I talk about Tihri, it's the 8th largest dam in the world and at the same time a water periphery body which has a periphery of close to 30 kilometers. So that kind of water body is not available anywhere in the whole of North India. We have got an approval of around 1800 crore rupees from Asian Development Bank to create the infrastructure in that area, and this is a location where we can come out with floating hotels, floating restaurants and a world-class amusement park. So this investment opportunity is available for players who are looking forward for investment in the hospitality sector. Then obviously when we were talking about that, we were talking about the strengths of Uttarakhand. One of the key strengths which we have identified, that is service sector. When I talk about the economy of Uttarakhand, almost 49% is coming from the manufacturing sector and 41% is coming from the service sector. Obviously, usually people think that it's a Himalayan state which would not be having that much of the land parcel, but close to 15,000 acres of industrial parks are already being sold out till now itself, and almost 6 to 7,000 acre land is available with the government, and at the same time the equivalent amount of land would be available with the private sector itself. So we are talking about a very large industrial places, and obviously when industries are growing, the service sector is also supposed to grow after that one. So that is why Uttarakhand is having a contribution of around 41% is coming from service sector. In service sector policy, we are giving a capital subsidy of close to 20%. So effectively, if I compare with any project cost or anything, then almost 5% of the project cost belong to the land cost. Rest 95% goes to the project. So effectively, we are saying we are giving land free of cost, and at the same time, around 15% top up over and above the land itself. So we are coming out with lot of service sector projects. One obviously higher education sector. There we are talking about the knowledge parks. So 2 knowledge parks which we are coming up. One is in Kicha area and other one is in Dehradun area. In Kicha we are coming out with a knowledge park of around 400 acres. That's a location which is next to Pantnagar Airport, 1 hour away from Bareilly Airport and 3 hours from Jewar Airport. So that kind of air connectivity and almost 3 hours from the Noida Delhi NCR itself. So that way the connectivity is really good for these locations, and the master developer can also partner with the state government for these projects. Along with that, we are also coming out with a Greenfield Medicity at Dehradun. It would be a small project, but we would be giving a built-up space kind of a space to the various hospital players. So like starting from 2,000 meter up to 5 acres of land at the center and the heart of the city itself. Then we are also talking about the film city. Obviously, we are not talking about a very full-fledged large film city of 1,000 acres. We are talking about film studios, film centers, and some processing plants, processing locations. Then along with that, obviously, film training institutes and all. So we are expecting $80 million kind of investment in the film cities. Then when you have seen that when I talk about the K-12 residential schools of the country, out of top 15, around 8 of such schools would belong to Uttarakhand. You must have heard the name Doon schools, Asian schools, Wellhams, Woodstock. So these kind of schools are already available in Uttarakhand. Ecosystem is there, and the premium ones which are available in the whole country, they would be situated in Uttarakhand. So we are looking forward for further investment in these areas. Again, we are giving a capital subsidy of around 25% for these projects. We appreciate the efforts of the private sector. PM sir has already come out with the PM Gati Shakti project. So there we all are trying to reduce our transportation and logistic cost from national level from 13% to 8%. So under the vision of that itself, we have also come out with our logistic policy. So under that policy, now we would be subsidizing all the logistic related projects with a capital subsidy of around 20%. We would be giving it for the logistic parks, warehouses, and cold storage. And it would be over and above whatever is being provided by Government of India. We have identified some of the locations where we can come out with such logistic parks. One is obviously ICD at Haridwar, then a logistic park at Pantnagar, and various warehousing projects which can come out at various locations in Uttarakhand, majorly in Dehradun, Haridwar and Udham Singh Nagar area. Then obviously we have also identified a lot of power projects. So under the power projects, obviously hydroelectric projects are something which we are targeting. We have identified projects worth $6 billion. And at the same time, we have also identified lot of investable projects in the renewable energy sector. So the focus sectors are obviously solar policy and the pump storage projects. So we have identified such projects already bidded out. You can just have a look on our website and you can find out all the major details about that one. In case of any issue, you can just fill the intent of investment on our website. We have our dedicated team of the relationship managers. They will get in touch with you. Therefore, I'm requesting each one of you to go through our website. We would not be able to tell everything through these presentations and the films, but yes, our website is very comprehensive. We have put a lot of efforts there, and you can just have a look. All kind of investable projects are present there, and once you fill the intent of investment, it's non-legal binding, and once you fill that one, after our relationship managers will get in touch with you, and we will provide one-to-one kind of connectivity for that. Then obviously we have also with the survey sector and everything, we also need to come out with lot of real estate projects. So under that, we have identified senior citizen residential projects. So I'm sure you must have heard about the Max Antara project. That's a fully sold out project. So when we talk about the highest disposable income, who has that highest disposable income? That would be obviously the people who are at the age of around 55 to 65, 70 and all that. These are the people who are really looking for environmental benefits, and they obviously need a very world-class healthcare facilities. All of these things are available exactly at the foothill of Himalayas, which not only have the best healthcare facilities, but also the really good connectivity to all the locations. So we have identified such parcels, one in Dehradun, then Haridwar Rishikesh area, and then Haldwani area, which is exactly at the foothill of Himalayas. Then we are coming out with an integrated admin city, almost 3,000 crore project. It would be a kind of a PPP project under the BOT model, where around 40 to 50% would be paid in advance, and rest would be paid in the form of the NVT, kind of a HAM model, the way the National Highway Authority of India does. Then we are also coming out with heritage redevelopment project at Haridwar and Rishikesh. Majority of the work, infrastructure related, would be done by the government, but yes, lot of PPP projects which will come to this particular corridor, where I'm sure a lot of people would be interested for. Then, as you know that in government setup, obviously in Mumbai it has not happened because of high real estate value, but at other locations, we would be having the government colonies horizontally developed around 30-40 years back. They are in dilapidated state. Now we are saying that we want to give that space. All of them are at the center of the city, very high real estate value, and we would like to give it on the PPP mode, the way the Delhi and other places have done. Then we are also coming out with a very large project at New City at Kurpia. It's a full-fledged greenfield city of around 3,000 acres, where 400 acres would be given for the knowledge park, 1,000 acres for the industries, and rest 1,500 for the greenfield city. So real estate developers can have this location, again very good location, and obviously we have got approval from Government of India for this one. The industrial park would be developed and, as an economic node for Amritsar Kolkata Industrial Park. And then obviously we have also identified a lot of tourism products where we would be giving a capital subsidy of around 100%. These are some of the pictures we have put up. You can just have a look on our website and you will get all the details. So with this I end up my presentation. I'm sure we all thought about that what is all about Uttarakhand. Now we all must be having answer for this question, that why Uttarakhand, and with this presentation why not Uttarakhand. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your insights today. We truly appreciated dedication. I would now like to, and I request you all to please go ahead and fill your forms so that we can see you all soon in Dehradun. Next, we have amongst us some key investors who have been our growth partners in this journey and made significant contribution in employment and wealth generation in Uttarakhand. May I please invite Ms. Sonia Garg, past chairperson CII Uttarakhand and CEO for his specialty chemicals. Please invite her with a warm welcome with your hands folded and
Honorable Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Shri Pushkar Singh Dhami ji, respected Chief Secretary of Uttarakhand, Dr. S.S. Sandhu ji, respected Secretary to Honorable CM of Uttarakhand, Dr. R. Meenakshi Sundaram ji, respected Secretary Industries of Uttarakhand, Shri Vinay Shankar Pandey ji, Director General Industries and Commissioner, Dr. Rohit Meena ji, CEO and MD, Tata Power and Chairperson, CI Western Region, Mr. Praveer Sinha ji, my fellow industry members, CI members, all the other dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. It's my privilege and honor to be here among this august gathering to share my experience as an industrialist and past CII chairperson in the state of Uttarakhand. Foris Group of Companies is now a 1,200 crore group company. We have grown with Uttarakhand. We are constantly increasing our capacities and diversifying our product range. We started just as an ancillary to BHL, sir. Today, we have 3 big manufacturing units in Haridwar and 100% subsidiary in South Africa, Johannesburg. I'm proud to announce that Foris is the largest phenolic binder producer in India and 5th largest in the world. I owe this growth to the conducive environment provided by the Uttarakhand state government. If I talk about the major differentiator, first is an extremely good IR situation. No labor unions. Believe me, in last 20 years, I have never faced any labor unrest. Labor or the manpower is cheap, which is by far skilled. So it has direct impact on the productivity as well as the cost of your final product. Law and order situation, as we have already mentioning, it's brilliant. It's so safe for the women outside and even in the industry. Electrical tariff, again, is one of the things that is an enabler. Low tariffs as well as the quality of electricity is remarkable. Logistically, well connected. We have already mentioned that it is improving day by day with the new investment on the infrastructure and the roads. The connectivity with the national capital is hardly 2.5 hours from Haridwar and around 3.5 hours from Dehradun. So there is no truck union issue in our state. These are the enablers that we, the industry, have been looking for. Besides all these that I have just mentioned, I would like to say that the government machinery here in Uttarakhand is extremely resilient, helpful, and receptive to the suggestions from the industrial bodies. Just to mention few, there's a new solar policy that has been come up recently in our state, and I'm proudly announcing it that most of the pointers that were suggested by the industry have been included in that. Secondly, like the FAR rulings or the rules have been modified in the benefit of the industry. So this kind of ecosystem has been provided. What I would like to emphasize is that such ecosystem which helps in the business sustainability, putting up an industry with the initial incentive is one thing, and sustainable industry is something which has been provided by the Uttarakhand government. Last but not the least, I would mention another key driver. We have been talking about all these incentives, the livability. I can proudly say that Uttarakhand is one of the most livable state in the country. It has the world-class education institutes, as we all know, be it Doon School or the universities or be it IIT. Healthcare systems. We have wonderful weather, no pollution at all. And we industry people, after post-COVID, we do value this, and we understand that these are the real enablers for retaining the manpower. So friends, I welcome you all to visit us in Uttarakhand Global Investor Summit to explore a bouquet of the opportunities in sectors from hospitality to manufacturing, mining to education, healthcare to IT, and a lot more. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We're truly grateful to have had Ms. Garg with us today. Your expertise and experiences offer a unique perspective that is both enlightening and inspiring to many. Today, we also have with us Ms. Ranju Alex, Area Vice President, South Asia, Marriott International, to share her experience and expertise with us today. Let's give her a big round of applause, people.
Sorry, I realize if I stand behind the podium, I won't be seen. I'm so tall, you see. But a very, very good afternoon, Honorable Chief Minister, delegates, and CII. Thank you for inviting me to speak for exactly 3 minutes. I've been given the time on this platform, but I'm extremely honored to be here. As you know, when you think of Uttarakhand, you think of natural beauty, which makes it a haven for hotels and for leisure travelers. You'll be happy to know that Marriott is now present in 3 hotels in Uttarakhand. The beautiful JW Mussoorie, the recently opened Western Himalayas, which is in Rishikesh, and the Fairfield in Dehradun. What is more interesting is that we have 2 more hotels in the pipeline, and what is much more exciting is that we have 50 leads as I speak for hotels in Uttarakhand. That's the kind of power of interest that Uttarakhand has in terms of natural beauty, in terms of ease of doing business. I would like to share, as a company, we opened 2 hotels in the thick of COVID. And Honorable Chief Minister, we were given so much of support and ease in doing that business, in opening those hotels. You'll be happy to know that the kind of clientele that Uttarakhand commands, we started making profits in both those hotels from the first month. And those 2 hotels are doing extremely well. So thank you to you and your team, to the state governance, to the state machinery, to give us that platform in doing business. And that's the reason why we have 50 leads of hotels sitting with us. And that goes to show, it's a testimony to the state's focus towards development. On our part, Honorable Chief Minister, Marriott is committed towards employment local employment for the people of Uttarakhand. Unlike other companies unlike what we used to do earlier, we do not really look for talent to come from a Bombay and a Delhi and a Calcutta to Uttarakhand to work. What we are now doing is we take local people, we train them in our hotels for 6 months and then employ them, which is a great platform for people to work in our hotels and for the local people to be employed in the state of their choice. So it is definitely a huge impetus to the hospitality industry with the way the government has been supporting us, and we so look forward to continuing our partnership and our engagement in Uttarakhand. So a big thank you to all of you, and we look forward to continuing this engagement. I've been given 3 minutes and I'm kind of aware of that. I would love to take 3 hours to continue to speak about our great partnership and strength that we have in the state, but thank you nevertheless. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, ma'am. It's been a privilege to hear from you. And thank you for sharing your knowledge and insight and enriching our audience with your seasoned perspectives. Next, we have the special segment that all of you have been specially waiting for. And without further ado, let's welcome the Honorable Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Shri Pushkar Singh Dhami ji, to share his vision with all of us present here today. Let's give him a bigger round of applause, people.
भारत माता की, भारत माता की। इन्वेस्टर समिट मुंबई रोड शो, और हमने इसको जो एक नाम दिया है डेस्टिनेशन उत्तराखंड, जिसमें आप सब लोगों को आमंत्रित करने के लिए हम यहाँ पहुंचे हैं। यहाँ उपस्थित हमारे चेयरमैन CII महाराष्ट्र डॉक्टर के नंद कुमार जी, श्री प्रवीण सिन्हा जी, जिन्होंने बहुत विस्तार से यहाँ से बात रखी, पूर्व चेयरमैन CII महाराष्ट्र, सुक्षी सोनिया गर्ग जी, जो कि हमारी ब्रांड एम्बेसडर हैं, और उन्होंने बहुत विस्तार से उत्तराखंड के अपने जो एक्सपीरियंस है वो आप सबके सामने शेयर किए। प्रशांत जी, रंजू एलेक्स जी, और हमारे चीफ सेक्रेटरी डॉक्टर SS संधू जी, श्री मीनाक्षी सुंदरम सेक्रेटरी, श्री विनय शंकर पांडे जी, रोहित मीना एवं अन्य आए हुए सभी हमारे सहयोगीगण, और आज इस ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर समिट में हमारे आमंत्रण पर यहाँ पर आए हुए सभी इंडस्ट्री के लीडर्स, मैं जिनका नाम यहाँ से संबोधित नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, ऐसे सभी उपस्थित हमारे इन्वेस्टर्स, उपस्थित जन समूह, और हमारे पत्रकार मित्रों एवं छायाकार बंधुओं, मैं सबसे पहले तो आज आप सबकी ये जो आर्थिक राजधानी मुंबई में हम सब लोग आपके बीच में आए, और जहां ये आर्थिक राजधानी है, पूरे भारत का दिल है, वहीं आप सबके बीच में हम जो है भारत की नहीं दुनिया की आध्यात्मिक राजधानी उत्तराखंड से आप सबके बीच में आया, और आप सब लोग इतनी बड़ी संख्या में आए। मैं आप सभी का अपने दिल की गहराइयों से आप सबका मैं स्वागत करता हूं, सबका अभिनंदन करता हूं कि बड़ी संख्या में आकर आप सब लोगों ने हमारा यहाँ निश्चित रूप से उत्साह बढ़ाने का काम किया है। और जब हम मुंबई की बात करते हैं तो निश्चित रूप से कोलाबा के व्यस्त बाजारों से लेकर बांद्रा की गगनचुंबी इमारतों तक, लोकल ट्रेनों की भीड़ भाड़, सिद्धि विनायक मंदिर, ऐसे मिलने वाली शांति और मुंबई की जो आधुनिकता है, वहीं उत्तराखंड का जो संस्कृति है, वो जब आपस में मिलते हैं तो एक बड़ा ही अनूठा संगम बनता है। और मुझे बताते हुए खुशी भी हो रही है, आप सब जानते हैं कि मुंबई के बहुत सारे लोग, मुंबई, महाराष्ट्र, आसपास के लोग बड़ी संख्या में, उत्तराखंड उनका लगातार आना जाना रहता है। कल भी जब हम जिस प्लेन से यहाँ आए, जिस फ्लाइट में आए, उसमें मैं देख रहा था बड़ी संख्या में लोग लगातार कंटिन्यूअस यहाँ से वहाँ आने वाले थे और अपना उद्योग सभी संचालित करते हैं। जो हमारे यहाँ पर एक बड़ा सिटकुल, जैसा अभी रोहित मीणा जब यहाँ से प्रेजेंटेशन कर रहे थे तो रोहित मीणा ने बताया कि बहुत सारे लोगों के मन में शंका होगी कि उत्तराखंड में जो लोग नहीं गए, सोनिया जी, रंजू जी, आप तो खैर वहाँ जाते रहते हैं और वहाँ पर काम भी करते हैं, तो आपको नहीं, प्रवीर जी, जिनको पता नहीं है, जैसे आप ही को बहुत सारी बातें पता नहीं थी, आप कह रहे थे कि भाई इतना शानदार वहाँ तो इतनी चीजें हैं, इतनी संभावनाएं हैं, तो बहुत लोगों को लगता है कि उत्तराखंड में जमीन नहीं होगी। उत्तराखंड तो एक हिल स्टेट है, लेकिन मैं आपको बताऊं कि 15,000 एकड़ लैंड पर ऑलरेडी पहले से इंडस्ट्री लगी हुई है वहां, और इससे कहीं ज्यादा अभी हमारे यहाँ संभावनाएं, और 6-7 हजार एकड़ जमीन हमने ऑलरेडी वहां पर तैयार की हुई है। एक बड़ा लैंड बैंक हमने पहले से ही वहां बनाया हुआ है, इसलिए हमारे पास लैंड की कोई कमी नहीं है, किसी प्रकार की कोई कमी नहीं है। और साथ में जो हमने पॉलिसीज बनाई है, सारी पॉलिसीज आप सब लोगों के लिए जो सरल हो, आसानी हो, जिसमें काम करने में किसी प्रकार की कोई परेशानी ना हो, कोई मुश्किल ना आए, उसके भी सारे रास्ते हमने निकाले हैं। भाइयों बहनों, इसलिए मैं आज आप सबके बीच में आया हूं और मैं देख रहा हूं कि जिस प्रकार से अभी यहाँ इतनी बड़ी संख्या है, पूरा का पूरा ये परिसर, पूरा का पूरा ये हॉल जैम पैक्ड है, कहीं जगह नहीं बची हुई है। तो ये मेरे लिए और मेरे साथियों के लिए, जो लोग आपको सबको यहाँ इनवाइट करने के लिए आए हैं, हमारे लिए बहुत हमको ऊर्जा से ओतप्रोत कर देता है। यानी हमारे अंदर एनर्जी का एक तेजी से ऊर्जा देने का काम करता है। मेरा मानना है कि महाराष्ट्र, विशेषकर मुंबई और उत्तराखंड दोनों एक दूसरे के पूरक हैं। जहां ये महाराष्ट्र ये धड़कन की तरह है, धड़कन है, एक देश का दिमाग चलाता है, एक देश का दिमाग चलाता है और एक देश का दिल धड़काता है। इसलिए यहाँ के लोगों को विशेषकर से एक जुड़ाव के नाते, अधिकार के नाते भी आप सबके बीच में आए हैं। और हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो देश के अंदर एक हमारी अर्थव्यवस्था 2025 तक 5 ट्रिलियन बनाने का जो संकल्प लिया है, उसी के तहत उत्तराखंड राज्य भी उसमें अपना योगदान दे, उस इकोनॉमी को बढ़ाने के लिए। और साथ में उत्तराखंड राज्य जहां पर अपार संभावनाएं हैं। अभी मैं पिछले दिनों इंग्लैंड भी गया था, वहां पर लंदन में, आबू धाबी, लंदन में, बर्मिंघम में और बहुत सारे स्थानों पर जाकर वहां के लोगों से मिला था। उसके बाद आबू धाबी और दुबई में भी रोड शो के माध्यम से, अन्य माध्यमों से, व्यक्तिगत रूप से भी जहां लोगों से मैंने चर्चा करी, तो मैंने देखा कि सभी लोगों ने कहा कि उत्तराखंड में अपार संभावनाएं हैं। जब हम दुबई में जाते हैं तो देखते हैं बड़ी बड़ी बिल्डिंगें हैं। मैंने पहली बार मैं दुबई गया था, लंबी बिल्डिंग ऐसे देखो तो दिखती ही नहीं है। बुर्ज खलीफा में तो ऊपर चढ़े तो संधू साहब, वो जो है वो जो लिफ्ट चल रही थी, लिफ्ट में भी हवा की आवाज आ रही थी जब ऊपर चल रही थी। तो लेकिन मैं जैसे ही बुर्ज खलीफा से बाहर आया, उन्होंने वाटर फाउंटेन और वो शो होना था, 2-3 मिनट का शो हुआ, उसके बाद हम बाहर आए तो अंदर तो एसी चल रहा था और बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा था। जैसे ही हम बाहर आए और गाड़ी का इंतजार करने लगे, मुझे लगता है 10 मिनट हमको इंतजार करना पड़ा। 10 मिनट में हम सारे के सारे रंजू जी जो है सब पसीने से तरबतर हो गए। लेकिन उत्तराखंड में ऐसा नहीं होगा। उत्तराखंड में आप उद्योग लगाएंगे, उत्तराखंड में होटल बनाएंगे, उत्तराखंड में कोई और काम करेंगे तो बाहर जितना टेम्परेचर अंदर जितना हो रहा होगा, बाहर उससे बहुत कम हो रहा होगा। आपको वहां ठंड लगेगी। यानी कि दो अंतर है दोनों चीजों में। एक वहां पर मैन मेड और यहां पर सब कुछ जो है कुछ ही अपने हाथ से बनाना है, बाकी सारा का सारा गॉड मेड। तो सब कुछ जो है भगवान का बनाया हुआ है। तो ऐसा स्थान है उत्तराखंड। इसलिए आप सब लोगों से हम लोग आमंत्रित करने के लिए आए हैं। और मैंने जब से उत्तराखंड राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में काम करना शुरू किया, तो ये सोनिया जी जानती हैं, हमने लगातार सबसे कम्युनिकेशन किया, लगातार संवाद किया, लगातार बातें करी। और इंडस्ट्री समूह के लोगों ने, इन्वेस्टर ने जिस प्रकार की हमसे पॉलिसियों की अपेक्षा करी, उस प्रकार की पॉलिसीज को हमने बनाया, उसी का परिणाम है। और जब हम आपके बीच में आए हैं तो आपके बीच में आने से पहले हम सारी पॉलिसीज बनाकर आए हैं। जो भी सुझाव लोगों के आए हैं, जितनी एडवाइज आई है, जितनी जरूरत आई है, या जिन कामों को इंडस्ट्री को चलाने के लिए, इन्वेस्टर के लिए, किसी भी फील्ड में, बहुत सारे फील्डों की हम बात कर रहे हैं, सभी फील्डों में, तो उनको उनके अनुकूल बनाकर तब हम आपके बीच में आए, तब हम बात कर रहे हैं। और अभी भी जब हम बात कर रहे हैं तो आपके बीच में से जो भी सुझाव, जो भी बातें हो रहेंगी, उन बातों को भी हम अमल में लाएंगे। हमने अपने आप को बहुत लिबरल बनाया है, क्योंकि हम जानते हैं कि कोई भी इन्वेस्टर है, कोई इंडस्ट्री लगाने वाले हैं, कोई व्यापार करने वाले हैं, वो व्यापार करने वहीं जाते हैं जहां वो सुरक्षित स्थान देखते हैं, फ्यूचर देखते हैं। और मैं अपने हमारे चीफ सेक्रेटरी साहब बैठे हैं और लोग बैठे हैं, मैं सबसे एक बात कहता हूं कि जो भी इन्वेस्टमेंट करने आएगा, जो बड़े उद्योग समूह हैं वो तो बहुत सारे स्थानों पर इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हैं। एक राज्य में करते हैं, दूसरे राज्य में करते हैं, एक स्थान में करते हैं, दूसरे स्थान में करते हैं, देश दुनिया के अनेकों स्थानों पर करते हैं। लेकिन बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे होंगे जो अपने पूरे जीवन की कमाई को एक बार इन्वेस्टमेंट करेंगे, एक बार करेंगे तो वो अपना फ्यूचर भी देखेंगे, अपनी सुरक्षा भी देखेंगे, और आने वाले समय में ये देखेंगे कि यहां पर व्यापार किस प्रकार से चल सकता है। तो हमको उसको अपने सोच में रखकर, केवल हमारा उद्देश्य ये नहीं कि आप आइए, आप आ जाइए और आकर फंस जाइए। आप आइए और हम भी आपके साथ, आप हमारे राज्य में काम करेंगे तो ये तय मानिए कि डायरेक्ट नहीं लेकिन इनडायरेक्ट रूप से हम आपके एक सह पार्टनर के रूप में हैं। सह पार्टनर जो आपके इंडस्ट्री को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए, इंडस्ट्री को सुरक्षा देने के लिए, इंडस्ट्री के भविष्य को सुरक्षित करने के लिए, और इंडस्ट्री का विकास होता रहे, इंडस्ट्री चलती रहे, उसके लिए सरकार भी बराबर चिंता करेगी। क्योंकि केवल ये नहीं होगा कि बहुत सारे लोग आते हैं, इंडस्ट्री एक बार शुरू करते हैं, कई बार इंडस्ट्री रुक जाती है, कई बार बीच में उनको अपना काम रोकना पड़ता है। तो इस प्रकार का हम नहीं चाहते, इसलिए हमने कहा है कि हम बात करके लोगों से उनकी बातों को समझकर और उनके अनुकूल नीतियों को बनाकर हम उसमें काम कर रहे हैं। और इसीलिए हमने जो उत्तराखंड का भी अंतिम कोना है, उस कोने तक विकास पहुंचे, उस कोने तक लोग पहुंचे। अभी टाटा की बात हो रही थी, उन्होंने कहा है कि अब कुछ ऐसे राज्य वो ढूंढ रहे हैं जहां पर अभी जीडीपी कम है। ऐसे बहुत सारे समूह हैं जो केवल अपनी चिंता नहीं कर रहे हैं, वो देश की भी चिंता कर रहे हैं, देश के उन राज्यों की भी चिंता कर रहे हैं जो राज्य पिछड़ गए हैं। क्योंकि कोई भी देश तभी आगे बढ़ेगा, तभी वो विकसित माना जाएगा जब पूरे देश के अंदर एक समान रूप से, समावेशी रूप से विकास हो, और पूरे देश का एक साथ विकास होगा। जो क्षेत्र पीछे छूट गए वो भी आगे आएंगे, तो ऐसे भी समूह काम कर रहे हैं, मैं उनको भी साधुवाद देना चाहता हूं। और हम पलायन की बात करते हैं, वहां पर बहुत ज्यादा माइग्रेशन हुआ उत्तराखंड के अंदर इन सालों में, और पहले से भी होता रहा, क्योंकि रोजगार के लिए लोग बाहर जाते रहे। आप सब लोगों के बीच में से जब लोग वहां आएंगे, इंडस्ट्री लगाएंगे, अपने काम करेंगे, और विशेषकर से पहाड़ों के क्षेत्र में काम करेंगे, तो उनको वहीं पर रोजगार मिलेगा, उनको रोजगार मिलेगा, स्वरोजगार मिलेगा। और मुझे खुशी है कि मैं जब आप सबके बीच में आया हूं, तो आज से पहले, यानी आज तो बहुत बड़ी संख्या हो गई है, कम से कम कितने पांडे जी, हम लोग 60-70 लोगों से तो मिल चुके हैं, लगभग 70-80 लोगों से मैं भेंट कर चुका हूं अभी, 1 to 1 करके या एक करके 2 करके। अभी बहुत सारे लोगों से मिलना है, हमारे चीफ सेक्रेटरी भी आ गए हैं, ये भी मिलेंगे, हम लोग सब मिलेंगे, कम से कम 400-500 लोगों से मिलेंगे। और मुझे लगता है कि अभी तक के जितने एक करके मिलने वाले लोग थे, वो सबसे अधिक कहीं होंगे तो वो मुंबई में ही होने वाले हैं। और 1 लाख करोड़ के हमारे पास अभी तक MOU साइन हो चुके हैं, और वो केवल MOU नहीं हुए हैं। कई बार लोगों को लगता है कि MOU हो गए, अब आगे आएंगे कि नहीं आएंगे। हम तो उन्हीं के साथ MOU कर रहे हैं, हम करें भैया, किसी को जबरदस्ती करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है, केवल फॉर्मल होने की आवश्यकता नहीं है, आपको काम करना है, आप पहले काम को समझिए। हमारे पास और भी बहुत सारे प्रस्ताव आए हैं, मैं आपको बताऊं, और हम उन सभी को देख रहे हैं, उसका आकलन कर रहे हैं। उसका आकलन करने के बाद उनका भी अच्छा होगा और हमें भी लगेगा राज्य के हित में, तो हम उन सभी को आगे बढ़ाएंगे। और मेरा मानना है कि कोई भी निवेशक निवेश करता है, और उसे जब विश्वास होगा कि उसका काम अच्छा चलेगा तो वो करेगा, और उससे कम समस्याओं का भी सामना करना पड़ेगा। हमने शुरू से इन सब चीजों पर ध्यान दिया है। और राज्य में हमने जो सिंगल विंडो सिस्टम है, हमने सिंगल विंडो सिस्टम पर भी बहुत व्यवहारिक रूप से उस पर काम हो, और उस दिशा में मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूं कि अभी पूरी तरह से बहुत सारे लोग वहां काम करते होंगे, पूरी तरह से धरातल पर उतर गया है 100%, लेकिन हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं, हमने एक शुरुआत करी है कि उसको एकदम सख्ती से उसको काम करें, जिससे कि लोगों को किसी प्रकार की परेशानियों का सामना न करना पड़े। और 1 स्टॉप शॉप ये व्यवस्था भी हमने प्रारंभ करी है। साथ ही मुझे ये बताते हुए भी आप सबको खुशी हो रही है कि अलग अलग सेक्टर्स में जो इन्वेस्टर फ्रेंड हैं, उनकी भी हमने नियुक्ति की है, और 5 करोड़ रुपए से अधिक की जो भी इन्वेस्टमेंट करेंगे उनके लिए सिंगल पॉइंट ऑफ कॉन्टैक्ट होंगे, और राज्य की ओर से जो तमाम प्रकार के NOC इत्यादि जो लेती हों, उन सभी को वो दिलवाने का काम, निवेशकों को उपलब्ध कराने का काम उनके माध्यम से होगा। इसके साथ साथ हमने राज्य के अंदर कुछ सेक्टरों को फोकस किया है। वो सेक्टर हैं पर्यटन टूरिज्म का है, आयुष का, वेलनेस का, फूड प्रोसेसिंग का, ऑटोमोबाइल्स, फार्मा, ऊर्जा, वैकल्पिक ऊर्जा, सूचना एवं विज्ञान प्रौद्योगिकी, साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी जैसे सेक्टर हैं, इनको विशेष रूप से हमने फोकस किया है। और इसके लिए हमने जो जरूरत है इन सेक्टरों में निवेश के लिए, काम करने के लिए जिसकी आवश्यकता है, उन सभी को हमने उन सभी फॉर्मेलिटीज को और उन आवश्यकताओं को हमने पूरा किया है। अभी हमने जो हमारे निवेशक हैं उनके लिए मजबूत नीतिगत ढांचे में उनके अनुरूप जो इन्वेस्टर हैं उनके अनुरूप भी जो योजनाएं बनाई हैं, और 4 महीने में 27 से अधिक जो नीतियां हैं, पॉलिसीज हैं, उनको बनाया है, या बहुत सारी जो पॉलिसी हैं उनको लिबरल भी किया है, कुछ में अगर संशोधन करना पड़ा है तो उनको हमने संशोधित भी किया है। आपको भी प्रेजेंटेशन में बताई दिया कि उत्तराखंड में कानून व्यवस्था अच्छी है, किसी प्रकार का कोई भय का वातावरण नहीं है, शांति है, और आसानी से कोई भी व्यक्ति वहां पर काम कर सकता है, कोई भी अपना व्यवसाय कर सकता है। साथ ही मुझे यह बताते हुए भी खुशी हो रही है कि जो बहुत सारी जगह पर आप देखते होंगे लगातार यूनियंस के बीच में और श्रमिकों के बीच में, साथ में जो प्रबंधक वर्ग है उनके बीच में लगातार क्लैश होते हैं, लेकिन हमारे यहाँ उत्तराखंड में क्लैश बहुत मतलब न्यून से भी न्यून है, 0 है। मैं कह सकता हूं कि बिल्कुल है ही नहीं, या कहीं पर जरूरत पड़ती है तो हम लोग कोशिश करते हैं कि उसको भी तत्काल जो है समाप्त कर दिया जाए। विद्युत टैरिफ पूरे देश के अंदर सबसे कम उत्तराखंड के अंदर है, और पीस टू प्रोस्पेरिटी के मूल मंत्र के साथ हमने निवेश के अनुकूल सरकार अत्याधुनिक जो बुनियादी ढांचे हैं और उत्कृष्ट जो मानव श्रम है, शांतिपूर्ण वातावरण है, पारदर्शी प्रोत्साहन नीतियां हैं, और सबसे बड़ी बात है कि आज हिंदुस्तान के अधिकाधिक शहरों से, हमारे यहाँ देहरादून से सीधी फ्लाइट चलती है, लगभग 40 के लगभग फ्लाइटें चलती हैं। इसके साथ जो एक बड़ा हमारा सिटकुल पंतनगर में है, वो पंतनगर के सिटकुल के पास हम अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर का हवाई अड्डा बना रहे हैं। जल्दी ही उसके लिए हमने जो सारी फॉर्मेलिटीज है, लगभग 800 एकड़ की जमीन राज्य सरकार ने भारत के जो विमानन मंत्रालय है, उस मंत्रालय को हमने हस्तांतरित करने की प्रक्रिया कर दी है, और रेल सेवा भी लगातार चल रही है। और दिल्ली के बहुत नजदीक है पूरा का पूरा क्षेत्र, जैसा अभी सोनिया जी बता रही थी कि दिल्ली से 3.5 घंटे में देहरादून पहुंच रहे हैं। आने वाले समय में ये दूरी भी आपकी मात्र 2 से अधिकतम मतलब 2 या अधिकतम 2.5 घंटे में आप दिल्ली से देहरादून पहुंच पाएंगे, हरिद्वार पहुंच जाएंगे, ऋषिकेश पहुंच जाएंगे, और रामनगर, रुद्रपुर, ये सारा स्थान जहां हमारा बड़ा सिटकुल है, वो सारा का सारा दिल्ली के बहुत नजदीक का क्षेत्र है। और हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं आने वाले समय में कि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय उड़ानें भी हमारे यहां से चलें, उस दिशा में भी हम काम कर रहे हैं। भाइयों बहनों, मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि निजी क्षेत्र के साथ मजबूत संबंध बनाने एवं जो हमारी साझेदारी है उसको स्थापित करने के से हम राज्य में आर्थिक प्रगति और जो रोजगार के अवसर हैं उसको और मजबूत कर सकते हैं। इसलिए उत्तराखंड में हमने उद्योगों के साथ बेहतर संबंध एवं तालमेल बढ़ाने के लिए हमने अपनी जो सबसे ज्यादा प्राथमिकता रखी है, हमारी प्रायोरिटी है कि हम निवेश को बढ़ावा दें, उद्योगों को अच्छा माहौल दें, अच्छी व्यवस्थाएं करें, अच्छा सुशासन का जो भी काम होता है वो सारा का सारा उद्योगों के क्षेत्र में, निवेश के क्षेत्र में भी लोगों को दें। और आप सब जानते हैं कि देवभूमि जो उत्तराखंड है, कई बार लोग कहते हैं कि साहब वहां पर डेस्टिनेशन कहाँ है, फिल्म इंडस्ट्री वाले, जैसे मैं फिल्म इंडस्ट्री वालों के बीच में गया तो उन्होंने पूछा कि आपके यहाँ इतने डेस्टिनेशन है, इसके अलावा कहाँ कहाँ डेस्टिनेशन है। जैसे बोलते हैं देहरादून है, हरिद्वार है, ऋषिकेश है, चक्राता है, औली है, उत्तरकाशी है, नैनीताल है, मुक्तेश्वर है, कौसानी है, मुनस्यारी है। तो मैं उनसे कहता हूं कि आपकी नजर जिधर को जाएगी, आपकी जिधर को नजर जाएगी उधर ही आपको एक नया डेस्टिनेशन दिखाई देगा। देखिए गंगा वहां निकलती हैं, गंगा जी निकलती हैं, गंगा जी का उद्गम है, यमुना जी का उद्गम है, पिंडर है, अलकनंदा है, भागीरथी है, सरस्वती है, महाकाली हैं, कोसी हैं, ऐसी अनेकों नदियां जो साल भर प्रभाववान रहती हैं, वो सारी की सारी देवभूमि उत्तराखंड से ही निकलती हैं। हमारे यहाँ ग्लेशियर हैं, बर्फ की चोटियां हैं, पर्वतों की श्रृंखलाएं हैं, और उससे बड़ी बात कि पूरे राज्य का 71% जो एरिया है वो फॉरेस्ट है। जिम कॉर्बेट जैसा पार्क उत्तराखंड में है, राजाजी नेशनल पार्क उत्तराखंड में है, और पूरी दुनिया के लोग वहां पर आते हैं, टाइगर देखने भी आते हैं, टाइगर सफारी भी करते हैं। तो पर्यटन की दृष्टि से, आयुष की दृष्टि से, वेलनेस की दृष्टि से, हर दृष्टि से देवभूमि और काम करने की दृष्टि से भी देवभूमि में उद्योग धंधे भी भगवान की कृपा से फल फूल रहे हैं, अच्छे हो रहे हैं। और हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी का भी विशेष जो लगाव है वो उत्तराखंड राज्य के साथ है, और उन्होंने उत्तराखंड को इस दशक को उत्तराखंड का दशक उन्होंने कहा है कि 21वीं सदी का तीसरा दशक उत्तराखंड का दशक होगा। उस दिशा में हम तेजी से आगे भी बढ़ रहे हैं। आज मुझे ये भी बताते हुए खुशी हो रही है कि इस साल आप लोगों ने देखा होगा, बीच में चर्चा आई होगी कि जोशीमठ में भूस्खलन हो रहा है, लेकिन इस वर्ष की जो यात्रा हुई है, अभी तक 55 लाख तीर्थ यात्रियों ने 4 धामों के दर्शन कर लिए हैं। अभी 18 तारीख तक यात्रा चलनी है। अभी आज 6 तारीख हो रही है, लगभग 12 दिन अभी और बचे हुए हैं और 55 लाख क्रॉस हो गया है। अब तक की सबसे बड़ी संख्या। अभी आदि कैलाश की यात्रा पर माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी गए हैं। सड़कों का जाल बिछ रहा है, रेलवे की लाइनें बिछ रही हैं, नई रेलें चल रही हैं। हर प्रकार से आज उत्तराखंड आपके अनुकूल है। और मैंने ये बातें इसलिए कही कि आप लोग सोच रहे होंगे कि अच्छा हम उत्तराखंड क्यों जाए जी, क्या जरूरत है, हमारा तो काम यहां अच्छा चल रहा है। मैंने कहा कि उत्तराखंड में जन्म लेना, ये जन्म लेना देखिए हर किसी के अपने हाथ में नहीं होता है। किसी के हाथ में है क्या जन्म लेना? नहीं है ना, तो भगवान की इच्छा से जन्म होगा, कहीं भी होगा तो। लेकिन कर्म करना ये हमारे हाथ में। जब आपके पास आगे संभावनाएं हैं तो मैं आप सबसे अनुरोध करूंगा कि उत्तराखंड में जरूर अपनी संभावनाओं को देखिए। आप आइए और देवभूमि उत्तराखंड की 1.25 करोड़ देवतुल्य जनता की ओर से मैं आप सब लोगों को 8 और 9 दिसंबर को जो हमारी इन्वेस्टर समिट देहरादून में हो रही है, आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने भी उनका भी उसमें मार्गदर्शन हमको मिलने वाला है, तो मैं उसके लिए आपको आमंत्रित करता हूं। और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि उत्तराखंड राज्य के विकास में आप सभी लोग सहभागी बनेंगे। देवभूमि में अपने कर्म को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए देवभूमि आपको आमंत्रित कर रही है। और इस अवसर पर मैं आप सब लोगों को यह भी विश्वास दिलाता हूं कि आपको उत्तराखंड में अपने उद्योग स्थापित करने में, इन्वेस्ट करने में किसी भी प्रकार की कोई परेशानी, किसी भी समस्या का सामना नहीं करना पड़ेगा। आइए उत्तराखंड में निवेश कीजिए, उत्तराखंड आपका इंतजार कर रहा है। आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
We want to express our gratitude, sir, for joining us today. Let's give him a big round of applause. He gave us such a beautiful invite. It was so hard to refuse, like a friend of ours or someone who's giving so much of warmth and heartness.